Good evening, folks. This is Red Wemette coming to you with another Red's Bedtime story. I'm going to try and go through this as fast as I can. I might have to make it a two-parter. But at any rate, it was 1975, and I had agoraphobia, and I had difficulty leaving the house. But I went out shopping that day. But aside from going shopping, I had to stop at TRW Credit Agency. It was out in the Gale Street district, somewhere out in Jefferson Park. I had a problem with my credit. My father's credit had been mixed up with my credit. And I went in there, and it was a key door on both sides. There was a lady there that was really big. I mean, she was like 6'4". She belonged to the circus. But anyway, we had a disagreement because I wouldn't give her all my information, just my date of birth and address and stuff like that. She wanted everything. And she got very physical with me because she locked the door from the inside and she wouldn't let me leave. And she actually picked me up off the ground, with my feet off the ground, and I was pulling on her arms trying to get her hands off my throat or chest or whatever she grabbed me by. And she hollered for this guy in the back room, "Frank, come out." I didn't know who was going to come out, but I didn't want to see him if I saw her. So I left. And I actually took a desk that was in there and threw it through a picture window that they had and walked out through the window. But at the time, I had asked my partner that was with me at the time, I said, "Give me a piece," because I was afraid it was going to come out the back. I went home, and I had a special line at my house. I had gone shopping after that also. I got home about maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I'd put all my things away, but I was still dressed in a suit tie, as normal. And I got a phone call, and it was from a guy who said, I'd met him many times before. I used to buy my cars there, but I didn't know exactly how he got that phone number because it was unlisted, nobody had it. What had happened was he started talking to me, and he always told me that he was the nephew of Jackie Cerrone. And what happened was I didn't like what he was saying to me. He said, "What'd you do today?" He's just questioning me. I said, "I went out shopping." And he said, "You hurt somebody today." He said, "You better get over here right now." I said, "I'm not going anywhere." I said, "You want to come and see me, come and see me. Do what you got to do." At any rate, I hung up the phone with him, and I was pacing the floor and walking around, and all of a sudden, Tony came to the door, Tony Spilotro. And he did that. He'd pop in. He wouldn't give me notice. He'd just pop in. So Tony popped in, and when he did, we were talking about a couple things. He saw I was irritated, and I told him what had happened. And I told him I'm not going down there. He says, "Come on, get in the car. We're going." And so we drove over to the Lincoln Mercury dealership. And by this time, it was about 9 o'clock at night. 9:30, and I think they closed at 10. But the minute we walked into the showroom, all the salesmen left. I mean, they really left. Tony wore lifts on his heels, on his shoes, and although he was only 5'5", he looked a little bit bigger. But he was dressed sharp and everything. And he said, "You wait for me in this room here, showroom, and look at the cars or something." So I did, and the alleged finance manager, he was the finance manager, but he's always told me he was Jackie Cerrone's nephew. He had been on probation for using cocaine. They sent him down to dry out in Florida, Boca Raton, and he was back and he was in trouble and this and that and every other thing. But that's another story. But what happened was he asked me to come in and have a drink with him, and I wouldn't go in there. When I finally did go in there, he reached for the drawer, and I thought he was going to pull a pistol. And I said, "You don't want to make that mistake." And his face was all red. He was very upset. He pulled out a bottle of scotch and a couple of glasses, and he said, "Would you have a drink with me?" And I said, "No, there's no way I'm going to drink with you. Not the way you talked to me on the phone. There's no way." But he did see Tony, and he was upset. And I think what he was upset about was he was throwing around Jackie Cerrone's name. And the long and short of it is, Tony was in the back talking to the owner, and he came back out, and I talked to the owner. He told me to talk to the owner, and he said, please, he said, do me a favor. He said, we're being protected, you know, by the outfit, and he said, or by you people. He never said outfit. And he said, my wife, I told her I'd handle this thing, and he was kind of a short little stubby guy, maybe I'd say 5'7". They both belonged to the carnival. Believe me, two of them, it was a match pair. But he was a short little roly-poly guy. And he said, can you please apologize to my wife for me? And I said, no way. I said, she was the one that assaulted me. I didn't assault her. He said, well, we made a police report and we got your license plate number. At that time, my license plate number was 3400. And 4-digit plates are hard to come by in the state of Illinois. But at any rate, you people know that probably if you're watching this. But it means political. The police don't bother you. Nobody pulls you over, whatever. So I got mine through Catura. But at any rate, what had happened was she came in, she was screaming at me, and I finally relented. I gave in and said, look, I didn't mean to hurt you. She had bruises on her arms, on both of her arms, and I felt bad. And I said, I calmed her down. And I said, I'm very sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen. And so she said, well, look, anytime you need anything from the credit bureau, just call me. Don't come into the office anymore. She said, I'll take care of anything you need. You know, she knew I was bona fide. I wasn't, you know, some guy off the street. But anyway, as it goes along, we made peace between each other, and Al and I had a drink. That was the finance manager. And he was red-faced and worried. He was very worried. And then Tony would ask me, he said, you see anything out here you like? And I had just bought in 1974, late, I had bought a Mark IV. And I was looking at a town car because it was real snazzy. It was a showroom car. It was decked out. But it had it was a four-door. Therefore, I could carry more people in. I was just looking at it. I wasn't going to buy it. And so he said, do you like that car? And I said, yeah. I said, it's a nice car. And he said, good. And he leaned over and told the owner, he said, I want that car. And he said, no problem. He said, I'll have him write it up for you. And he said, put it on my tab. And the guy looked at him like, he was really upset. But he said, I said, put it on my tab. And he said, okay. He said, by the way, we're taking it with us right now. So there were big glass doors that opened up. And they rolled it out and everything. And as we were leaving, or before we actually got in to drive it, he told the owner, he said, make sure that it gets registered in his name. And he pointed towards me, meaning Red. And so that car the title was registered to me, and it did come to my name. And I don't know, the guy just, for the aggravation and grief that it caused, Tony just came to my aid. I don't know why he even did this. I really don't. But it happened. And that was an interesting thing. But as far as Jackie Cerrone, I think the guy was upset because he's been dropping Cerrone's name around left and right to me and other people. And if Tony would have gone back to Cerrone and told him this at the time, or he'd gone to a Yupa or somebody else and told him about this, it wouldn't have been very good for anybody. But that's my bedtime story, and I hope you enjoy it. And thank you everyone who's bought my book. I hope you liked it. Right now you can only order it at redwemette.com. It's not on Amazon at the moment, but it will be eventually. And I want to thank you very much, all my fans out there that seem to watch this and enjoy it. And have a great evening, and God bless you.